Hello everybody, this is Azrael444 coming at you today. I've been thinking about this rapture date stuff that everybody's been talking about, and I decided to use math and what the Bible actually says about it. Okay, now, when Jesus was here, he was here as a Jewish person, and he went by the Jewish calendars. And so, with that being said, we are currently in the Jewish year of 5779. Now, I do believe that God has a 7,000-year timeline for the human race that he's going by. So, if you go from 5779, let's go all the way up to here, the Jewish year of 6,000. And the Jewish year of 7,000. That's when Jesus Christ is going to be back here on the ground, and he's going to reign for the 1,000-year period. The millennial reign of Jesus Christ. So, now, if you take the tribulation, which is supposed to be 7 years, and you precede the 6,000-year date, and you go to, it comes to the date of 5993. So by the Jewish calendar, that would put that 7 years before 6,000. So that would put that as a possible rapture year. But that's all going by the Jewish calendar. And yes, Jesus was Jewish when he was here. But here's the thing. When Jesus talked all about this, there was also a thing in the Bible where he talked about there being a thing where he's talking about speeding up time, because if he didn't, there would be no flesh left alive. And for us, the way the world's going nowadays, to make it to the year 5993, that's like over 200 years from now. I don't think we'll even last that long. I think we will all self-destruct before then. And Jesus knew that, and still knows it. That's why I was thinking he's talking about speeding up the time. And he can actually physically speed up time, but what I think he did is he was going from the Jewish calendar to the Gregorian calendar, which is used by the Gentiles. So we got a transition. I think, this is just my theory, from what I get out of the book and from math, but he's transitioning between calendars, from the Jewish calendar to the Gregorian calendar for the Gentiles. And I think that's what that time speed up thing he was talking about is about. So if you go to the Gregorian calendar, right here, you got to base everything off of one huge key fact, that in 1948, Israel became a nation. You cannot ignore that. That's a fact. It's history. And that's a huge sign. And that is referred to as the parable of the fig tree. So, now Jesus said that the generation that sees this happen, Israel becoming a nation, he said, we will be around to see all these things come to fruition and him come back. The generation that sees Israel become a nation. And he says right there in Psalm 80:10, the nation, or the generation of man is 70, which is 70. And instead of by reason of strength, it'd be 80 years. So, if you take 1948 and you add 80 years to it, it comes to 2028. But here's the thing. That 10-year period he's talking about for reason of strength, I think that precedes 1948 to 1938, which in that time span comes the persecution of the Jews, mainly being the Holocaust. I know the war ended in 45, but I think that the Jews didn't actually start recovering from that until 48. But that's what I think that 10-year period refers to, is from 38 to 48. So if you go from 1948 and you add 70 years, come to 2018. But this is 2019. But I think Jesus is still going by the change of the years by the Jewish calendar. Because the change of the new year for the Jews in 2019 is going to be September 29th, 2019, which is Rosh Hashanah, which would take the Jewish calendar from 5779 to 5780. So, because from here, this way, we're still in 5779, at least up till September 29th. And I believe Jesus is trying to save and wants us to save as many people as we possibly can before he comes back. So I think he's waiting to the last possible second before he has to come back. And the reason why I say he has to come back, because he's already set the timeline. Everything's already all set. In Jesus' eyes, in God's eyes, all this has already happened from where they're at. They're just waiting for the dates to get here for him to come back and, take us home, and for all this other stuff to happen. So I think that's what happened. The speeding up of time was going from the Jewish calendar to the Gregorian calendar for the Gentiles. And the fact that Israel became a nation in 1948 was a huge sign. Now, being 1948, or whatever year that was in the Jewish calendar, 70 years or 80 years is still 70 years or 80 years, no matter what. So you can go from 1948 plus 70 years to the end of the 70th year in 2019, September 29th. So I'm thinking the strongest possibility for the rapture date is going to be September 29th, or just a little bit past that, because that celebration goes on for a few days, which will also fulfill the part as no one actually knows the day of the hour. It could be 29th. It could be up to October 1st. So that would mean you wouldn't know the day or the hour, but you would know the season. So that's what I think. I don't think he's coming back in April, May, or June, because he's going to wait till the last possible second. And all these people say, oh, the Jewish year ends in May or April, whatever. Google it. Look at the Jewish calendar, start of the new year. Tells you right there on the internet. September 29th is Rosh Hashanah, start of the beginning of the new Jewish year. That's all you got to do. Look for yourself. Don't just take what these other people say. Look it up. Check it out. And if Jesus does come back in April, May, or whatever, that's fine. That'd be awesome. But that would still leave a few months that he could wait for us to get more people saved. But that's what I'm thinking, is that he's going by the calendar of the Gentiles as of right now. Now, if he was going instead of Rosh Hashanah, if he wasn't going by that date, if he's going by strictly the Gentile calendar, then he would have came back in 2018, but he didn't. So that's, to me, that's proof that he's still going by the Gentile dates as far as their celebrations and stuff in New Year's, which would put it to the fall of 2019. Now, I could be wrong about this. This is just what I'm thinking. I'm not saying that it is for a fact that anything's going to happen on these dates, except for 1948 years of becoming a nation. That's already history. That's a fact. And the current Jewish year is 5779. That's a fact. Those that cannot change, those are true, those are factual. But whether he's going by this calendar up here, which would bring him back 5993, which is a little over 200 years from now, I don't think we'll be around that much longer. Because the human race has a tendency to self-destruct. And he knows this. And he's not going to let his church, being us, be in the middle of all that. So that's why I think he's going by this calendar down here. So, anyways, you guys can look some of this stuff up. You can message me. You can give me thumbs up, thumbs down. Give me raspberries, whatever you want to do. But I'm just putting this out there for you guys to think about. It's been on my mind, so I figured I'd throw this out there, see what you guys think. So, but yeah, you can share it, talk to your friends, whatever, see what they might think about it. And just let me know what you think. Gives your brain something to chew on. So, well, love all you guys, and God bless. And whether if we're going by the Gregorian calendar, even if it is out to 2028, that's only, what, 9 years from now? So that's still not far. So, he talked about the parable of the fig tree, which happened in 48. If you add the 80 years to that, 2028. Those are in the Bible. Those are fact. They'll put them out to 2028, another 9 years. But I think that 10-year period from the 70-80 precedes 48 to 38. I think that's what that 10-year span is for. But let me know what you think. I'll talk to you all later. God bless, and talk to you soon. Bye.